Nalla Narasimha Reddy, Education Society's group of institutions, integrated campus. The institution is approved by AICT New Delhi and affiliated to JNTU Hyderabad. This is Dr. G. Subbarao. I welcome all the civil engineering candidates for this online session. In this session, I am going to talk about folds, introduction, as well as the different parts of a fold under the Unit 3 Structural Geology. Let us start the topic. As it was mentioned in the previous slides, previous lectures, structural geology is the study of the process that result in the formation of a few geological structures such as folds, faults, joints, and how these geological structures affect the rocks. This is the meaning of structural geology. So, structures are usually the result of the tectonic forces that occur within the earth. So, depending upon the process, whatever involved, so that folds, faults, joints develop in the geological formations. Now, let us see the folds can be seen very clearly in the as a geological structure in the stratified rocks. So, folds are the best displayed by stratified formations such as sedimentary or volcanic igneous rocks, otherwise metamorphic rocks such as gneiss, slate, marble, schist, etc. These folds are best displayed by stratified formations such as sedimentary rocks or volcanic igneous rocks, otherwise metamorphic rocks, namely gneiss, slate, schist, marble, etc. So, the geological formations, when they are subjected to compressional stress, so what happens? The rocks are squeezed, otherwise compressed by the external forces directed towards one another. That means the shortening of the geological formations. See the compressional forces, how they are acting on the geological formations, and here also it's very clear. So the compressional stresses, what happens? It pushes the matter, geological formations or rock layers together. This is the meaning of compressional stress. And folds. These are the common geological structures which can be seen in almost all the sedimentary and in metamorphic rocks. So, when the geological formations are subjected to compressional stresses, what happens? We can find some bends in the geological formations. See, these are the stratified rocks. For example, A, B. A stands for sandstone and B stands for marble, for example. So, when these geological formations are subjected to compressional forces, what happened? So, we can see some bends in the rocks. This is one bend, this is another bend, this is another bend. So, A bend is upwards, whereas B geological formations are, downwards. That means whatever the bends we notice in the rocks are called as folds. So, this is a fold, this is a fold, or this is a fold. When a set of horizontal layers, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 or n number of horizontal layers are subjected to compressive forces, what happens? The bends develop. The bends may be either upwards or downwards. So, what are the horizontal layers? Maybe limestones, shales, sandstones, gneisses, quartzites, schists, some of the geological layers. So, these are common. Here we can find the folds. That means upward bends or downwards bends. Let us see the parts of a fold. A fold has a few parts which include limbs, crest and trough, axial plane, axis, wavelength, hinge line and plunge. Limbs. So these are the sides of a fold. So this is, suppose if we assume this is a fold, in this is side of the fold, this is called a limb. Similarly, this is another fold. So in which side of the limb, this is side of the fold is called as a limb. Likewise, this is also a limb, this is also a limb. So sides of a fold is called as limb. Usually 2 limbs for every fold, and in which one limb is common to the adjacent fold. So this limb is common to this fold and this fold. Crest, we can call it as anticline. Trough, we can call it as syncline. So the curved position of the fold at the top or bottom are called as crest and trough respectively. So top one is crest, simply bottom one is trough. That is the curved. So these are, see, this is the top portion which we can call it as anticline or crest, and this is, curved position of a fold, bottom of the curved fold is called as trough. Axial plane. So axial plane is an imaginary plane. So this is an imaginary plane which divides the fold into 2 halves. So this is one half, this is another half. That means an axial plane is an imaginary plane which divide the fold into 2 parts, and it passes either through the crest or sometimes through the trough. Depending upon the nature of the fold, the axial plane, this may be vertical or this may be inclined or this may be horizontal. So axial plane occurs as vertical, inclined, horizontal. Here it is vertical. So axial plane is an imaginary plane which divides the fold into 2 halves. See, beautiful example. This is a syncline and this is the anticline. So this is one axial plane, this is another axial plane. Here the axial plane is vertical, here also the axial plane is vertical, which is dividing the fold into 2 halves. And the synclinal, the axial plane is passing through the trough, that is the syncline. Here the axial plane is passing through the crest, that is anticline. These are various geological formations. Fold axis. So the intersection between the axial plane and the crest, here this is the anticline, or we can say this is the crest. So the intersection between the axial plane and either crest or trough of the fold is called as fold axis. So this is the fold axis. So intersection is, here also this is the intersection point, here also this is the intersection point. If you join, this is called as fold axis. So fold axis is nothing but an intersection between the axial plane and the crest or trough. You can see here the fold axis AB is the fold axis, and the fold is having one limb here and another limb here. That means a fold has 2 limbs, and this is the axial plane. That means an imaginary line which is called as axial plane. Hinge line. The hinge line of a fold is the line of curvature. Curvature of the line of a fold, that is called as hinge line. You can see the curvature here very clearly. This is the curvature. So how much it is curved? Plunge or pitch. When the axis is inclined, this is the axis. When it is inclined, so that an angle is formed, that angle between the axis and the horizontal plane. If we assume this is the horizontal plane and this is the angle and this is the axis, that means an angle is formed between an horizontal plane and the axis is called as plunge. Otherwise, it can be called as pitch. Pitch or plunge is an angle. Thank you.